If you came to see some of the craziest Absolute Batman exclusives, keys, grails, sign books, you've definitely come to the right place. We are wrapping up the series with one of the final parts of my Absolute Batman showcase. So sit back, relax as we show off some of the hottest books when it comes to one of the biggest books for DC Comics and in the industry right now. We're going to dive right back in where we left off from part 1. If you missed part 1, go back and check it out. It was everything up to issue number 15. With all the exclusive keys and grails. So I appreciate you guys tuning in for part 2, and it's going to wrap everything up from an Absolute Batman series. Here we have issue number 15 with that absolutely insane Tyler Kirkham. This is the Venom homage with Batman standing on the tongue. So this is the origin of Joker. This cover right here, super affordable and cheap. It was printed to heck with multiple variants. So it is only about 12 to 15 bucks on eBay. So great deal if you ask me, and an absolutely insane cover. And just, man, the Joker representation in this universe is some of my favorites, and we're going to get to a sketch cover later that is going to show why. The only other exclusive I got from issue number 15 is the Felix comic art one. Got this right off the website. This is limited to 1,000 copies. This is actually going for about $300 to $400. It is a wraparound, but I pulled this right off the wall. This is how I display some of my comics. I put little double-sided Velcro strips into the comic capsule. So keeps my comics protected, UV protected, and they're great to display. So this one I love. So I'm only missing the issue number 1 and then the Catwoman one from the design variants because I didn't even know they were a thing when they were coming out. So I'm only missing those two, and unfortunately the issue number 1 is like over $1,000. So I doubt I'll ever have it, but maybe one day. But I, again, just love the Joker. I love these design variants. People always were never a fan of the design variants. I always thought they were okay, but now ever since the Absolute Batman ones have hit with Felix, they just have skyrocketed on the aftermarket. Before we jump to issue number 17, I got a couple honorable mentions when it comes to the Absolute Joker because I just love his character. This is Absolute Pooh. 47 out of 50 done by my man Sean Foray, Marat Michaels and everything. So this is an homage to the Dragota cover, main cover, in the Prism foil. I don't collect many Absolute Pooh or Pooh stuff, but this one was an absolute must-have. And again, just the Prism foil is just insane, and I like having limited things like that. And speaking of Prism foil, if you weren't at HeroesCon or missed my HeroesCon video, this was the Comics Curing Cancer art book done by Austin LeMay, signed in the green and signed in his natural sig, again in the Prism. So I put it in the purple comic capsule to match. This is only limited to 25 copies. So everything they do is all proceeds go to the American Cancer Society. They do a huge event on YouTube, which is coming up. So I am super happy. Austin LeMay, I have his Spawn artwork hanging on my wall, one of my personal friends. So this thing is just insane. And again, with the Prism, with the purple comic capsule, purple signature, green signature, perfect. Last honorable mention, and since we were talking about HeroesCon, this is a 1-of-1 original art sketch done by Chris Mad. I know I got it on the Batman blank, but Absolute blanks are crazy expensive, so they're just a little bit out of my price range to go back and pick up, and I like having things that I can just throw up sketches on. I do have all the Absolute Batman blanks, I just haven't done anything with them. And what's cool about this one is it's a wraparound blank, and all the interiors are blank as well. So if I ever want to get more Absolute stuff done, I thought this would be perfect. So as you can tell, I am just such a fan of the Joker design. I saw him at HeroesCon, didn't even know anything about this artist, so this was just on a whim. So make sure you guys check him out. His links will be in the socials and the descriptions. But this thing is just absolutely menacing. Full sketch, full color, original art, 1-of-1, and now you're gonna see some more Absolute Joker goodness. Now we're making the jump to issue number 17, and doing the series, it's nice and interesting to me to see where I bought exclusives for what issues, for what characters, going back and just seeing the journey of the Absolute Batman collection myself. But here we have the introduction of Poison Ivy in full, She was a previous cameo in issue number 10, and then we have the introduction of the Court of Owls. But more of that absolute Joker that I just love. This is another cheap one. This is going for 20 bucks to about 30 bucks on eBay. There's trades, there's virgins, there's different variants, and you'll come to see when you see multiple retailers doing the same cover with just different variants that are all kind of the same or just different colors. A lot of those are kind of cheaper now, easier to come by. So if you missed out on things when they came out or you just wanted to save some money, now was a great time to go pick up some of these random exclusives. But man, Lucio Perillo just absolutely crushed this. This was a must-have. Again, just a menacing cover. One more, issue number 17 that I had to pop off the wall just to show you guys. This was the MegaCon exclusive. I think this was limited to like 1,000 copies, the Rashada Lynn. This is one of my favorite. It's gonna be super hard, but all the blood splatter, all of that, all the trade, the background, all that is spot foil. So this thing is just super mean. It is also signed by Scott Snyder and Rashada Lynn herself. So I'm beyond thrilled to pick this up. I had to actually buy it off our own Whatnot shows. So I paid up, kind of pricey for this issue when it came out. Now it's going for about 60 on the low end to about 75 to 100 bucks on the high end unsigned. But again, I just love having it in the red comic capsule to match is just perfect with Absolute Batman issue number 17. Moving right along, we have issue number 18 with the introduction of the Court of Owls in full. We have the Dexter Soy Big Time Collectibles exclusive. They had so many variants. I don't think there was a foil, but there was a virgin, a negative space, a black and white with the red. But either way, I am super happy to have this. This cover is just super sick. I love the big beefy Batmans. I love the scale with the Joker on there. This one, super cheap as well, going for about 20 to 30 bucks. So another one you can just hop online, hop on eBay and check out. Again, these are all prices on Key Collector, so they might be fluctuating, they might be updated, or there might be differences. But again, just another easy one to have. I love going for the trade dress options. If I have an option between virgin, trade, or foil, I'm always gonna go for the cheapest, and I'm normally gonna gravitate towards the trade. Keeping with 18, we got two more. This one's so good, man. So fire. I wish this one was like a spot foil or a glow in the dark. This would have been perfect, but DC was right around that point taking away glow in the darks and spot foils. So this one's just sick. The Tyler Kirkham Absolute Batman issue number 18, the battle damage, in my opinion, one of the crazier ones. I love the green ooze. I just wish Bane, since it was supposed to be like a battle damage series, he's not really battle damaged. His just hoses are broke. So I wish Bane was all bloody and beat up, especially being the Absolute Batman when dude's like 3 stories tall. So it missed opportunity, but super sick cover nonetheless. This one again is only going for about 20 or 30 bucks. So another one with the trade on the cheap end. And then we'll finish up issue number 18 with my homie John Jang. Of course, had to get the trade. This one had virgins, negative spaces, all that kind of good stuff as well. But this is, I think, the only John Jang Absolute Batman cover I have picked up. So love John Jang to death, but his covers are like some artists for me, 50-50. I love some are not have-to-haves for me, so I'm only at the point where they're must-haves, but this one was super clean, and again, another cheap one for about 20 or 30 bucks. Now we're gonna get into some of my personal favorites. I love the design and style choice of this character, the Absolute Poison Ivy. This is issue number 19 with the introduction of the Scarecrow in full. We have the Trinity Comics Muju Monster. This thing sold out in seconds. It's going for about 120 to about 150 bucks. I got it in the clear backer board, so it just looks really good, but the reflection's gonna be terrible. Again, like I've said this whole time, DC foils are just a little dark, so on camera, on photo, they look a little bit darker than they actually are. But man, these gold highlights on here just absolutely pop. And again, just one of my favorites. So I'm beyond happy to have grabbed this for retail when it came out, just like all these others, as I stated before. I haven't bought any of these on the aftermarket. Now we have the Mark Spears. This is the one time I went with the virgin foil over the trade. This is going for about $40 on the low end to about $75 on the high end. I personally picked this up to take to Cincinnati Comic-Con because Mark Spears is going to be there. And I thought this would be great to get a signature, maybe a little like crow remark or something. So that was the only reason I got the virgin foil. As you can see, most of my books are always trade if I have the option. So stay tuned. There will definitely be some updates with this book. Moving right along to another Felix design variant that I was fortunate enough to grab off the website when it dropped. Issue number 19 with all the Robins. I totally forgot this issue is the introduction of the Robins in full, so that was a big deal. And these design variants look super clean in the clear backer board, so shout out to Comic Clear. So I need to put the other one in one of those. So wraparound covers, but this on the low ends going for about 120 to about 150 bucks, high ends about $200. So still love to see the value of these. Like I said, never ever gonna sell them, but just happy to have these in my collection and beyond thrilled and fortunate to just grab them off the website. And then speaking of drops, man, this thing, you can say what you want, but it was one of the worst handled drops in my opinion in history of that I've been a part of since doing Whatnot and things like that for the past like 5-ish, 6-ish years I've been into comics. Buying, selling, collecting comics is pretty easy, but when it comes to some sellers, it's way tougher than others. And this book was an absolute mess. They dropped maybe like 20 to 50 on the website. Whoever was lucky enough to get them on the website got them. They were gone in seconds. And then they dropped more on the website and then they doubled the price. So that was already a mess. And then they still had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of copies left. So they auctioned them all off to kind of max out prices. So in my opinion, that's not the way to do it, but somehow I got both of them off the website drop right when it happened, so I didn't have to pay up for any of these. I was one of the few lucky ones. I had no idea that was going to happen. I felt just absolutely awful for everybody. So this is the Dan Quintana Absolute Batman issue number 19. Low end of the foil. Foils are going for about, it's all over the place, but I was seeing about $150 to $200. So the foil is super clean. I wish it was just a trade. I wish this one had the trade dress and then it was a virgin foil, not the other way around, just for my OCD. But then this one, somehow, some way, I was lucky enough to get this for everything that happened. I mean, it wasn't really makeup or anything because you were already overcharging people with the auction and making so much money. It's crazy. But they offered to give the stamp and signature for free. I mean, the signature's great, but honestly, I could have went without the stamp. Totally just kind of, you can feel it. It's like burned into the book and right on Absolute Batman's chest. Not the best choice in my opinion, but this one raw is about 170 to about 250, and I've seen double signed and the gold stamp copies. They're all over the place, anywhere from like $500 to $800-ish, and those are raw prices. So 9.8s, who knows, could be a couple $1,000s. So this is one of the bigger, more expensive books in my collection, and just with all the drama and everything around it, I've thought about selling it a few times, but at this point, I really just don't even care to make a profit from the book. So I'm just going to keep it in the collection forever. It's still an absolutely phenomenal cover. The Scarecrow representation is so great. I just wish the stamp would have been like right here or like right here, just not right on my boy Batman. So those are two of the more controversial issues that you may say in the Absolute Batman run. Last one for Absolute Batman issue number 19, then we're gonna move things along. You can tell that I went pretty hard because I loved the Scarecrow in the issue as well. So this is the Absolute Batman Bill Sienkiewicz exclusive that was dropped through a couple different retailers. Everything was great. It just sold out super quick, so if you missed out on it, check eBay. It's going for about 30 to 50 bucks, so nothing crazy. And as somebody who works with Rups Comics, we do represent Alex Ross and Bill Sienkiewicz. Had to have this book. I forgot to take it to San Diego Comic-Con to get Bill signed, but you're gonna see something coming up that Bill actually did sign for me. Since we were just talking about Bill Sienkiewicz, I'll kind of jump forward. This Absolute Batman issue number 22. We had an exclusive as well, so I can't wait to show you guys that one if you missed out. And then this is the connecting cover with Absolute Catwoman issue number 2. This was an eBay exclusive. We had these at our booth. I think they were limited to like 500 or 1,000 copies. I forget the print count. It was something special. Pretty sure it was 500 copies, but these sold out at our booth the day they came out, had a huge line, and then the eBay drops and everything gone immediately. So I was lucky enough to get one, and then of course, like I said, with Bill being at our Alex Ross booth, I waited till the con was over. He was still hanging out. I had one of my buddies hold both books together. I normally don't like to get the connecting sigs, but since he has a huge long signature, I thought this would be perfect. So it's the full connecting signature, and I'm actually gonna get a special comic book frame that's gonna hold both of these, so I'll be able to display them both on the wall. Here we have a huge one. Out of the entire run, this is probably one of my favorite covers, right up there next to my 9.8 cover A and my 9.8 John Boy all triple signed. This is the Absolute Batman Annual Felix. Sold out in seconds. I was able to get it right off the website. It is actually signed by Scott Snyder. It is signed and remarked by Daniel Warren Johnson. So that is phenomenal. So I need to add a couple more signatures on here. But this thing is crazy. Raw prices, anywhere from about $500 to about $750. Those are raw. So it's just kind of all over the place. 9.8s are way over $1,000, but when you're getting into double signed and remarked territory, this is 9.8s of this. I've seen similar sales of about $3,000 to $5,000. So it's crazy. I am just forever happy to own this. The only reason I haven't got it graded yet is because I'm just saving it for more signatures, but this is a really clean copy. And I know some of the copies had a little bit of rub on the black cover. So black cover in the black comic capsule. Beyond thrilled to own this book. As you can see, we have a little stack of issue number 20s to go through. Just gonna give you guys a little tease, but I think we're gonna stop right there because we still have a nice little pile of these issue number 20s, issue number 21s, and issue number 22s and 23s as we're speaking is coming out. So I'm gonna hold it there, make this a 3-part series and kind of just take my time because this has been a fun series. I love talking to you guys. I love talking about these books. This is one of my favorite series in comics going on right now. I love all capitalizations. What it's doing for the hobby, if you want to say it's good, if you want to say it's bad, it doesn't matter. It's bringing in so many new fans, so many new hobbyists, so many new collectors, people that have never even read comics from all over the sides of the hobby, the collecting world, the planet even. So many different cultures are adopting Absolute Batman. For example, they just had a Japanese Absolute Batman Felix release. The line was so insanely long, sold out in seconds. Now it's going for astronomical prices on the aftermarket. So again, if you can't tell already, I love the series. I love talking about it. My passion for comics is exactly what Absolute Batman is trying to do. So it's just great for the industry. So if you haven't done it by now, make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing, all that kind of stuff, because we're gonna have one more part. Go back and check out that whole series. Check out any of the shorts. Check out the description for everything. We are live always on Whatnot. We have Cincinnati Comic-Con coming up. Toronto Fan Expo is going on right now. Bosses there were set up. And then we have Dallas Fan Expo, Cincinnati Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. It's just a lot of cons going on. So make sure you guys are staying tuned, checking me out on Instagram. But most importantly, enjoy the day. Read your comics. Collect what you love and enjoy. You know the whole thing, but stay legendary. And as always, I hope you guys find what you're looking for. Thank you.